Are the Celtics being sold because Wyc made them too expensive? What a new report could mean for this Celtics core right now on the Locked On Celtics podcast.
Thanks to Blockbuster brand, it's holiday season. Drop Drew in the mix. And 3 from KP, no, we not on the Knicks. Flushing competition like Al on Giannis. Juice and Big Juice, still Beantown's finest. Banner 18 going up in the rafters. Watch the C's game in locked on after. Karalis on the breakdown. Clutch like a tip from D. White on the breakdown. John on the mic, documenting domination. Matter pen a back bay, it's all C's nation. Rain and J's, how we started, raising banners, how we finished. Locked on Celtics pod, home of the winners. Peace.
Hey there, welcome back to the Locked On Celtics podcast, right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day. I got you covered every Monday through Friday. Yes, we're back to daily. It's free. It's Monday through Friday, so subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Watch the show on YouTube. Get into that comment section and let me know what you're thinking about everything that I'm saying about the Celtics, whatever it is. I'm John Karalis, by the way. I used to play. Now I'm covering the Celtics for Boston Sports Journal. Been doing this for almost 20 years now. So, I've been around the block a little bit. Hey, today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. Now through September 22nd, every FanDuel customer can bet $5. You get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Go to FanDuel.com to get started. Today, I'm talking all about this New York Post report that basically the reason why the Celtics are being sold is because Wyc Grousbeck, Wyc's dad, was like, no, you're spending too much money. This is my money. And instead of watching you blow it all on this championship team, it's time for me to sell this sucker. So it's kind of nuts. Hey, before I do this, let me just quickly shout out. I want to shout out A'ja Wilson, who became the first woman to score 1,000 points in the WNBA. Awesome to see her do it. I was watching her do it against the Connecticut Sun. Not my favorite thing in the world, but greatness is greatness, and she is great. So just wanted to make sure I said that because she's so good. And it's history. It's basketball history, and I just wanted to acknowledge that before we get to this report. Look, the big takeaway from this is going to be how this impacts the Celtics' current roster. So let's get to the beginning here. Let's start at the beginning and work our way through what is going to, will this be the final season of this core? Will next season be the final season of this core? What is going on here? So New York Post over the weekend drops a report that, quote, the Celtics' ballooning payroll allegedly sparked a rift within the family that owns the team, leading to aging patriarch to demand his free-spending son sell the iconic franchise. This according to the New York Post. Wyc Grousbeck, a 90-year-old Massachusetts-born entrepreneur who owns a controlling roughly 20% stake in the team, balked at funding big losses on the horizon from the massive contracts that helped the Celtics capture a record 18th NBA championship in June, multiple sources told the Post. So basically, Irv was like, Wyc, this is my money. You're spending my money. This isn't all your money, by the way. We've got a family. When they initially said, and Wyc said later, this is an estate family planning thing. And sure, Irv is 90. I've said this before. Makes perfect sense that a 90-year-old wants to cash in his investments, kind of get the money, divvy it up amongst whomever he wants to divvy it up. It's and there's tax implications and all of this other stuff. So yeah, it makes sense. And even within the confines of this story, if this story is true, I gotta say, it's nothing that I can confirm. I'm sorry to say, this is just the Post is doing its reporting. They have multiple sources. This is what they're being told. This is what they're reporting. I'm not saying that this is 100% true. I'm just going to treat it as if it's possibly like, yeah, this could be the reason. It's not out of the question that this is how it went down. Whatever it is, this could have a real impact on how the Celtics function moving forward. So if Irv is saying, buddy, this is my money, this is my team, this is my cash, you're spending all of what I am going to be bequeathing our family. So the more you spend, the more you take away from people that should be getting a share of my, inheritance. What I'm giving out, you're taking away from the inheritance and distribution of these funds from other people. So when you think about it that way, it's like, well, okay, I guess Irv might have a point. If he's looking at Wyc saying, how much money are you going to spend on this little basketball team of yours? I can see him saying, like, I'm gonna pull the plug on this. Let someone else spend all this money. We are done. But kind of too late, because Wyc already did, I'll say, did the damage. I know you listening, you watching, you're like, great, way to go, Wyc. Way to hand out these contracts in a way that's like, well, it doesn't matter who you sell the team to. These guys are going to be here, or at least they're under contract. Now, the next person could come in and be like, yeah, we're not keeping all of these guys. We have to pare down salary. But there are difficulties. First of all, the team is expensive as it is. Do you want to be, we keep talking about Bezos. Bezos may not be in. I don't think any one of those big money guys is in. But if big money billionaire comes in, like, are you going to be the one that tears apart a championship core? I don't know. Kristaps Porzingis is under contract for this year and next. Al Horford is under contract for this year. Luke Cornett is under contract for this year. Xavier Tillman comes off the books the same year Porzingis does. And then after that, you have Drew Holiday he's under contract basically this year, next season, 2 seasons beyond that, if you count his player option. So what was a scenario where he could have been off the books fairly soon. He's under contract for a while. It's not going to be as easy to pare down organically this roster as I may have thought initially, because they gave Holiday this big extension. Regardless, Wyc comes in and approves, like, yep, no problem. Jaylen, Jayson, no brainers. But yeah, let's extend Drew Holiday. Let's extend Derek White, which they did. Derek White under contract for this season and 4 more beyond that, because he has a player option really for $35 million in 28-29, where he would be 35. So he's here for a while. They gave him a bunch of money. I don't know how Al Horford's going to go, but they gave Peyton Pritchard money. They gave Sam Hauser money. He's under contract for this season and 4 more after this. So Wyc's done what he's going to do, right? He's already handed out, like, yes, I approve all of these contracts. Brad Stevens, go for it. So if Irv is like, well, I don't like it, I do question the timing of this, because they won the championship, and then the team announced the sale, and then Derek White got money, and then Sam Hauser got money, and then a lot of these guys got money. Now, I don't know if Irv was like, hey, it's too late now, but I will say there is a little bit of a question about the timeline here, that if Irv was that pissed off about money being spent, he could have stopped it. He could have gone to Brad Stevens and said, hey, I know Wyc is the governor, but it's my money, and I do not approve you giving Derek White and all these guys this money. So no, you do not have authority. He could have done that. So there is a little bit of, questionable nature behind this reporting. But the biggest part of this is how much money the team brought in and how much the team could lose next year and how much they could lose moving forward after that. The squabbling between Irv and Wyc, interesting, kind of juicy drama, all of that stuff. Some questions there, but the team is still making money or losing money. Those numbers could be the real juice behind this report. I'll talk about that in just a second. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. It's America's #1 sports book, and you still have a week to take advantage of this little bit of a different offer that they've been giving every FanDuel customer up until September 22nd. This is the September 16th show, so you still got almost a week left to capitalize on this. Every FanDuel customer bet $5, you get 3 weeks free of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Then with your YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out of market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel at any time. I'm telling you, with that YouTube and YouTube TV, you can get that multi-view. You can really take advantage of watching 4 games at once out of market on a Sunday afternoon. Really keep up with your fantasy team. All it takes is a $5 bet at FanDuel.com. So head on over there, FanDuel.com. Use the tools that they have so you can gamble responsibly, set your limits and all of that stuff. Have some fun. Bet that $5, and you can get yourself 3 weeks free of NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube and YouTube TV. Just download America's #1 sportsbook at FanDuel.com. Thank you for making Locked On Celtics your first listen every day. Go check out Locked On NBA. Make that your second listen. Make that part of your routine. Locked On Celtics first, Locked On NBA second. It's all the big stories in the NBA. Now that we're getting ramped up, they never stopped over there at Locked On NBA. I said we never stopped because I host on Wednesdays with Jake Madison. 5 days a week. Been going 5 days a week. So go check that out wherever you got this show. So, like I said before, Wyc and Irv, father-son drama. We've all had father-son drama, right? I mean, it's like raise your hand if you've had father-son drama. Yeah, right? I'm not sure about the veracity of this. Irv may not like all of the big contracts, but he probably could have stopped them if he wanted to. But the bigger thing here is this from the report, quote, the team barely broke even last season during its championship run, sources said. It is expected to lose roughly $80 million because of luxury tax fines for being over the salary cap for the upcoming season that tips off next month, a source close to the sale process said. So these are the big numbers. This is the thing that we got to focus on. Because whatever with Irv and Wyc, the team barely broke even during its championship run. So everybody, great. You didn't make any money. You didn't lose any money. Kind of tough. Rich people don't like not making money. They don't like putting money into something and not seeing a return on investment. So I can see that being like, interesting. And maybe it wasn't the payroll moving forward. It was the payroll that made this already a barely break even season. And then to look ahead and say, no matter what we do, we're going to lose $80 million next season. And then that's not even counting the season after this. That's going to be the biggest thing. So I've been saying, obviously this season is under, like, they're moving forward with this season, right? It's done. They've got every roster spot full, and now it's just a numbers game. They're already, because of the second apron, they're not making any moves. They're not spending a ton more money with this. So, okay, not this season is a wash. You already know you're going to lose your 80 million. Uh, not the biggest deal in the world if you're in it for the long term. You've already spent your money, right? You're not taking money out of your pocket necessarily. There's been a long term kind of, you've got money in the bank, right? There's a Boston Celtics bank account somewhere with millions of dollars in there where they've made a ton of money, and that's going to come out of that bank account. Now, you don't want to see that bank account drop, and I don't know how much is in that bank account, more than I have in my bank account. Pretty positive about that. But that's going to be where the money comes from. These guys aren't like taking up collections. They're also, think about it. They're going to get expansion money at some point. They're going to get more TV money at some point. Like the money that's coming in is going to be greater for these guys. So it's not the worst thing in the world. Like if you hang on to this long enough, you're gonna make this money back, especially after a couple of seasons. Um, th- there are going to be guys who go away. Porzingis is probably gone. They could trade Holiday. They could make some moves to bring this payroll down and either continue with a reduced payroll or start completely over. Like those are options down the line. But to stare $80 million of losses in the face and even bigger losses, because we're talking about the Celtics in 2 seasons being a $500 million cost. And that's where I have always struggled. I've always struggled with the team keeping it together. I know that this season is good. I don't know that next season is good. I want to, on my most positive days, say it's 1 year of losses and you know it's breaking up, but to build that goodwill and to say our investment in this team is going to pay off on the back end because the fans are going to be so happy that they will still come to watch games after that. That you will make more money on, if this is year 1, we'll just say this season is year 1, next year is year 2 with all the big losses. Years 3, 4, and 5 will make more money because Celtics fans are so enamored with multiple championships that they will come and support the team. They'll just want to be here. They'll just want to enjoy it. They'll just want to look at that banner up in the rafters, or the banners plural up in the rafters, and just enjoy this greatness that exists here. But I can't say for sure that that's going to happen. So if this really is true, and if this is where the rift or whatever is, then you can see it coming. This season might be the last one. This season might be the last one. Next season will be changes. So 25-26 with Porzingis as an expiring contract, there might be an edict to move him. There might be an edict to move somebody else. They might just say, this is too expensive. We can't do this. We can't have a roster that is that expensive. Wyc is going to be the controlling governor, the primary face of the franchise, no matter what happens with this sale. We got to remember that. And I don't know how this is all going to shake out, but I don't know where the financial edicts are coming from moving forward. Wyc can be like, yeah, I'm the face of this. I'm making the call. Who's buying this? How many of the people still involved on this team are buying this, are buying the Celtics? What's the Grousbeck influence going to be moving forward? I don't know where this team goes. And this report kind of just throws it into flux a little bit. And I'll just revisit this. I don't think a big name is coming in. And this is another part of this report. It throws cold water on just how valuable this Celtics franchise really is. We'll talk about that in just a second. According to this report in the New York Post, dispute between father and son, they say it's going to be tough for the Celtics to get $6 billion. It's going to be more like $5 billion. Like, oh, what a shame, right? $1 less billion. The economics are not there, one of the sources said, because the Celtics don't own the building. There is going to be an issue with whoever comes in. And what does that mean? Well, you're not getting one super rich, person worth $100 billion who drops 5 on the team or 6 on the team and says, okay, let's make this run. I know that part of the cost is me eating it for a couple of seasons, and we'll figure it out. I'll make some money on the back end. We'll host a couple extra rodeos and I'll make my money back that way. No, can't do that because they don't own the money. They can't do what the Warriors have done or what Steve Ballmer is doing with the Clippers. Can't do that. Talk about building a new stadium in Boston. Can't do it. Takes years and years and years and years and years and years and years to even get the clearance, to get through all the political red tape. Even if they do that, we don't know where they're going to do that and how much money that is going to take, because there is no just big flat piece of land that will be available for the Celtics to build a stadium should they want to. Let's not even get into the fact that they've got a 12-year lease that was just renewed with TD Garden. And it might take all 12 of those years to get a new building done, but they are still renters for the next 12 years. So new owner comes in and says, I can't break this lease, and it's going to take me a decade. Do I want this headache? Do I want this headache of, okay, yeah, I'm going to buy the Celtics, and now I'm going to go sit there in the State House and kiss everybody's butts and try to make how much more in donations am I making politically to the people who need to be to have their campaigns funded in order to buy the votes that you need to buy in order to make this thing work. That's an added expense. So if I, John Karalis, have $6 billion lying around, then I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy the Celtics. I will make this happen. I'm spending how many hundreds of thousands of dollars now making political donations to politicians, many of whom maybe my politics don't jive with, but I've got to make these donations because that's going to make my business, the Boston Celtics, work, because the Boston Celtics and, whatever arena, and that arena is going to be why I'm buying the Celtics. Building that new arena, I can get your Taylor Swift concert in and make it a big deal and make my money off of that. And I can make money off the concessions during Celtics games, which the Celtics do not. That goes to Delaware North. It's part of their deal, I think. That is all part of this. It's so complicated that it makes what should be a straightforward process difficult. The Celtics are selling 51% of their team, and now apparently they're doing it because father and son can't figure out the money, and the money that's coming in isn't enough to break even this upcoming season, and it's definitely not going to be enough to make ends meet, not make ends meet, but to break even the next season. You're going to have bigger losses next season. No owner's going to want to come in and be like, yeah, I'm signing up for that. No owner's going to want to come in and be like, I can't even make money off of the days that these guys aren't playing. That's part of why people buy these arenas and the team, so they can make money back on their investment. It makes the sale of the Boston Celtics super, super difficult. It makes it much more of a vanity project. It makes it much more of a thing that a local Massachusetts, New England Celtics fan billionaire will get into. Nothing that I've seen changes my opinion that some local person who just loves the Celtics and makes tons of money elsewhere, that's going to be the person that comes in and buys the Boston Celtics. I cannot. Why? After everything that I've said, tell me in the comments. After everything that I've said, why would somebody like Bezos come in? Tell me why. But this report does make me wonder if next season is going to be this same group. We could talk about how they're under contract, but this is a super expensive team. Is this going to be the last year of Kristaps Porzingis? Is this going to be the last year of Drew Holiday? Who's coming? Who's going? No one's coming in. Everybody's going. Is this season the last season in this real championship run? Is next season going to be the Celtics coming back down to earth, joining the rest of the East and being, well, are they as good as New York or Philly? I don't know. Maybe the Celtics will be the 3rd seed. Maybe they'll be the 4th seed. They'll still be really good, but not that good. Not this good. If the Celtics don't have the green light to move forward next season and say, hey, we're doing this one more time, and having a bunch of rich people go like, yep, we're gonna take the hit. All I'm saying is this season, just enjoy this season. Enjoy this season, because this could be the last one with this group. This very easily could be the last one with this group. And if the money is as tight as it is, I don't know what next summer is going to bring. It's going to make it very interesting to see what the Celtics do. They're probably not going to do anything trade deadline. What are they going to do in July? First things first, you got to win a championship. Got to do it again. Maybe this adds a lot of pressure. This team's not going to be together after this year, so better go win it. Better go back to back, because after this window is at least closing halfway. It's tough. The new collective bargaining agreement makes it very difficult, not just because of the second apron, but this repeater tax is so much. It was already bad. It's so much worse now. It's built to break up teams like the Celtics. So we'll see how this new report plays into it. Let me know in the comments. I hope this lasts longer than we think, but we'll see. We're 5 days a week. Training camp opens next week. So we'll start looking ahead to this season, this upcoming season. Hopefully there are no other big, huge reports about Celtics ownership and the sale of the team. We'll start looking forward to individual players, what we can look forward to this upcoming season, and get going. Media days next week. They'll start practicing next week. We'll be talking about real basketball. So subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Watch the show on YouTube. Get into that comment section. Like I said, subscribe. It is a free daily podcast just for you. More podcasts than you're going to find anywhere else. Post-game podcasts here as well. So make sure you're subscribed. And I would love it if you shared the podcast and told everybody they should be listening to and watching the Locked On Celtics podcast here on the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day.